Hello and welcome to another chess video. Uh, right now what we have going on is a chess tournament between players of our chess club. It is all students. As you can see in the lineup over here, we have 10 students who joined. Maybe somebody else will join last minute, but so far we have 10 people. The time control will be 3 minutes and 2-second increment and only 1 hour long. So basically, all the players will play a blitz game, and they'll get in as many as they can, and whoever has the most points at the end of the 60 minutes will be the winner. I could have played, but I also decided that I would have a lot of fun commenting and giving you some of the instructive moments, explaining some of the instructive moments that occur in all the games. So as the students are going to play, I'm going to commentate on about 15 to 20 minutes of this so that I can help the viewers understand what is going on in the games and we can appreciate what is going on in our chess club. So the games have just started and I want to observe. So this is all very new to me and I'm still going to figure out how to observe the games. Let me just move this a little bit. Okay, here we are. Here's one game. This is between two of our highest rated players, and so this is a good game to start following. Right now, we have a d4 opening and pretty modest e3 setup. So it's not a Queen's Gambit declined. It's sort of setting up to be a Kali system. Black is playing one of the usual setups. Black got the bishop out of the pawn chain before playing e6, which is a good square for the bishop. It's not stuck here on c8, looking behind its own pawns. Play is developing pretty normally right now. I think the players are both in the opening stage. Let's see what White's going to prove here. One idea, I'm not sure how good it is to play b3. Okay, and that's what the student played. b3, and now this is turning into a Slav defense with colors reversed. Black played pawn e5, which is a good central break. It's normally what you do in these sort of structures. I was going to say maybe Black should have castled first, but I actually like the immediate e5. The only thing I will say is that Black should focus on castling at some point very soon. Right now, castles could run into pawn to c4. But okay, knight d3 is a good move, possibly winning the bishop pair. Yeah, White probably has to take that. And now we have a very strong bishop on d3. This is what we call a bone in the throat. So if Black can get c4 in, he's going to anchor his bishop there. And when you have a minor piece on your opponent's 6th rank, we call that a bone in the throat. Not only is it going to control a lot of squares and suffocate White, but also this bishop is a really bad piece right now. So right now I would say that Black is just dominating. Black has a huge advantage. Very awkward for White to play, and actually it's hard to tell where his pieces should be going. Oh, knight e4 here now. Knight e4. Knight e4 is a good tempo move. Black is playing very well. I notice that I'm covering up the time a little bit. So I'm going to put not sure where to put myself. I'm going to leave myself like that so that I don't cover any of the times. Let me just reorganize that a little bit. Okay. So, this knight is essentially pinned because if it ever moves, there's a checkmate. Or, well, not immediate checkmate, but you'll lose a pawn and run into a lot of problems. So queen f6, I really like this move. Black is playing very well. Now, if White could stick this f3 knight on d4 and solidify the position, she would still be alive here. That That's positionally what she wants to do, but she can't move that knight for the moment. Bishop a3 is a good move, trying to trade off some of the attacking pieces. This bishop is a very good piece, and this other bishop was a very bad piece. So I do like that maneuver. It seems, yep, it seems like white is getting a little bit out of the out of trouble, but still, no, she should have recaptured with the rook so that she can continue pressuring c3. In fact, a couple moves ago, yeah, c3 was just hanging. So black had bishop takes, queen takes, and then queen takes c3. And we essentially win a free pawn, I think. But okay, it's a blitz game, so with all things considered, both players are playing pretty decently. No outrageous blunders right now. So let's see. Queen f6. She's now threatening c3 again. I'm just going to move my seat over a little bit so that I'm in the camera. Okay, oh, no. She keeps missing this move. Queen takes c3 there would have been, again, a free pawn. So it seems like at least one of the players is missing this idea. Right now, this is an idea. Bishop e2 and then take on f3 to win a pawn. So white prevents that and attacks the b7 pawn. What's black going to do? She can play rook b8. Oh, okay, so she's attacking. Now rook b8, or she can just play pawn to b6. Both seem like decent move. Rook e7 is also an idea. Okay, so she's just sacrificing the pawn, which honestly is not a bad idea, although after queen takes b7, your rook on a8 is hanging for a move, but I think this is a very good sacrifice. Very good sacrifice. Just play rook f8. Just play rook f8, and then rook g6, and there's going to be a lot of kingside pressure. Very well played. Very well played. We're about to enter the time scramble, so both players are going to have 1 minute. It is important to note that they get 2 seconds back with every move. So this is not going to be decided by just who can move their mouse faster. This is really going to be decided by who's playing a little bit better, given the time constraints. So in this position, black is sacrificing 2 pawns. That's the second pawn gone down. But black is arguing that she's going to have a huge kingside initiative. And I do agree. I think this is very good. No. You should play rook g6, threatening to win a piece with bishop e2. After the rook moves, you will win a piece on f3 due to the pin. So that's what she should have gone for. Not too late. She should still go rook g6. Rook g6 should still be played. And it's going to be very hard for white to untangle. Rook g6 also threatened with queen takes h3. It was important to get that pin in. Now I think black is sort of going wrong. That was not white overreacted here. She did not need to sacrifice the exchange. She could have just traded on g5. This was a little bit unnecessary, and now black is getting material when she shouldn't have been given that option. With that being said, white does have 2 pawns for the exchange, and so now this is an unclear position. It's probably equal. Knight e5 now wins a pawn, although a2 is hanging. Probably equal, but I'm going to say it's going to start being easier to play for white. I think white is the only one with winning chances now, because white is the only one who can generate a passed pawn. Oh, that's a knight blunder. That's a knight blunder. So now the game is over. Before that, white needed to consolidate here. You could play a move. Okay. It's a very interesting position. You could play a move like pawn to f3. Sorry, before the check. Instead of the check, because you need to protect this, you could play pawn f3. The problem is that after rook a4, c3 is going to drop, and then it really is just about equal. I don't think white can lose, but also black should not lose in that position either. Now it's a mop-up job. Uh, that looks like it's gonna be pretty much finished. So let me move the camera out of the way for a second so that we can watch some of the other games. I'm gonna check out the game being played by Inferno Wall right now. Give some commentary. Okay, 38 seconds. This is between Inferno Wall and Makai 352. Let's see what's going on here. First, I'm going to count the pawns. Okay, it looks like White is losing a piece. How did this happen on move 15? It seems like they're playing pretty slowly because they only got 15 moves in. Oh, that must have been a misclick. What is going on here? Pawn e4. Oh, he just didn't calculate, so he just didn't count the number of defenders. That was a piece blunder, so e4 was just a bad move. Otherwise, he should have played queen e2, rook d1, rook c1, develop pieces normally. Now, however, it seems like White is just playing down a piece. Let's stick with the game just for a little bit to see Black's technique in this position, because being up a piece but having only 30 seconds is not a trivial task. However, this position, it's hard to believe that Black can go wrong. But let's see what can go in the time scramble. Right now, White should be playing as fast as possible. White should, without hesitation, be blitzing up moves, even if they're not good. So White needs to pressure Black on time. His only chance is on the clock right now. So, okay. That was not a good sacrifice. Now Black is up an entire rook. And with good piece activity, he's starting to trade on c3 and convert his advantage. That's a full piece now. Rook in a piece, it's a little too much. So White resigned that game. Unfortunately, that was sort of an opening mistake. Okay, so it just reset a new game for us. And let's follow along with this one. This is the game between Inferno Wall, who had that unfortunate start to his tournament, versus Fire Phoenix, the highest rated player in the tournament right now. Fire Phoenix has 0 points. Did Fire Phoenix not win that game? How is that possible? Hold on. Okay, I can't check that right now. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Fire Phoenix did not win her game, but I thought that she was a full pawn, full rook up, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Hold on. So Fire Phoenix, over here. Oh no, Fire Phoenix did win. SABX Roberto right now with 6 points. Is he going berserk? Is that why he's getting so many points? Let's see what he's up to right now. Okay. So he might be waiting for a game. Let's just keep up with the top games. Magic Kid is in. Lulu Star is in. SOBX 17 is in. Zion Simmons. A lot of chess games going on right now. So let's just see which one. Let's just continue with this Inferno Wall game. Yep. Sorry, I'm having a little trouble going to the games. Why is it giving me this message when I try to watch the game? Okay, so hold on. Let me do this just in a different way. Did their game end already, or it seems like the game just ended. So I'm not really sure what happened there. But White resigned, which somehow put Fire Phoenix in the lead. Not really sure why that happened or how it happened. But now we're having a showdown between Magic Kid 321 and Fire Phoenix, two of the highest rated kids in the club. Fire Phoenix once again being the highest rated player in the tournament currently. So we have another one of these systems without playing c4, so it's not a Queen's Gambit. I'm gonna let them play out the opening a little bit before we return to comment. Oh, no. Actually, now I want to stay. So we've talked about not putting the knight on c6 in these kinds of positions, but it only works if you can play pawn e5. So if you can play pawn e5, it works, which means that Black's strategy was a success, and that White needed to find a way of preventing pawn e5. Now Black is completely equal. You can play bishop g4. No, I would not give up the bishop pair for free. Giving up the bishop pair was not a good choice. I was about to say b3, bishop b2, and you're going to hit the rook. White is going to have a significant advantage because these bishops are going to be firing down on the diagonals. I was going to move away from the game because I thought the opening would last a little longer, but now it's getting interesting, and let's stick and see what happens here. Pawn c4 is pawn c5 is a good response. That's a little bit confusing. White will win a pawn because takes, and then actually bishop can take at the end there. And if the queen takes, you lose your queen due to bishop takes h7 check, and your queen is hanging on d4. So White actually could have won a pawn in that position instead of playing there. Oh, you don't have rook h5 because bishop takes f6, winning the rook. So I was going. Otherwise, the best move there would have been just to go back then. Just to play it out. Am I able to move the pieces? No. I was going to say takes, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes h7, and your queen hangs on d4 at the end. That's what I was explaining before. I cannot move the pieces, so we're just going to move on. It looks like, in one way or another, it looks like White won the pawn anyway. Yeah, White is a clean pawn up, but no longer has the bishop pair, so it's not as bad as it could have been. Because White could have been a pawn up with the bishop pair as well. So now Black is going to have to struggle for a draw right now. If I were White, I would just trade queens. Keep it simple. Queen f4 is a good move too. Now if rook g4, bishop takes f6 was a good move. So Black avoided that. Okay, wow, I like White's idea. He's just dominating in the center now. Now let's see if I can win this, given the time constraints. So how do you? The first thing I would do is also just make sure that my king has lift. I would play h3. h4 is also a move to consider, but it seems a little bit like you're exposing yourself too much. So pawn h3 is a good safe move, making sure that you're never going to get back rank checkmated. Also, another move is possibly doubling the rooks, but I would just make sure that the back rank is not weak at all. And I really hope for White's sake that does not turn out to be a problem. Queen c6 now it looks like a threat, both threatening this and this. So I think that regardless of whether it's the best, it should be what Black plays. Queen c6, mounting a double attack. Let me just move myself out of the way for a second. This is number 2 versus number 3. So if White wins this game, it'll be very good for his standing in the overall tournament. Rook c8, a little too slow. Queen c6 would have been a real double attack, and it's possible that queen c6 again is possible here. It's possible that that equalizes already. Yeah, queen c6 right now. It's possible that it equalizes if it can win the c2 pawn. Although now after you win the c2 pawn, there's rook c1, winning the rook on the back rank. So there's going to be some tactical problems, and the queen will not be able to take on c2 after queen c6, which means that white is still better. White is still better. White is just a pawn, up a pawn here. Black should still play queen c6 in order to bluff. This is a double attack. You should still do it to bluff. Ooh, being very risky with the back rank here. Queen takes c5 already works with rook d8 check. You can't play like that. Yeah, very well done by Magic Kid. That's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. You cannot weaken your back rank like that. So it does show the importance of moves like h3 or h6. You do have to get those in when you have the time, because otherwise you never know when your stuff might just drop off. So I'm going to assume that white's going to win that game. Let's see what are the other games going on right now. SOBX17 versus Zion Simmons. Okay, this has the potential to be a complicated end game. If black loses his extra pawn, this becomes a very complex endgame. Okay, and he did. So this is winnable for black with the extra bishop, but very difficult. And especially with time trouble, I wouldn't put my money on black winning, but at the same time, it's also very easy for white to blunder. Also, the time. So white has very little time right now. King f5. Okay, bishop. Yeah, black should just pressure white forever here. Go to moves. Rook d8 threatened. Well played. Rook d8, pushing the king back. The idea is that you want to push the king to the back rank, and then create some checkmating ideas. Okay, so that was a win for black on time. Very complex position, although I think he was actually making progress in this position. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So let's see what else is going on over here. We're going to end the commentary in a little bit. I didn't want to make this an hour-long video, so probably I'm just going to comment on the half hour of it and move on from there. I'm just noticing that my face is darkened in the window. This is sort of where I've been recording my videos, and I'm trying to solve it, but I'm going to leave it alone for now and figure out how to get more light in the future. Okay, so here we have Fire Phoenix versus Nicholas Cedrus. Nicholas Cedrus being number 9, Fire Phoenix being number 3. Let's see how the game goes. It looks like an end game right now. Seems like things got traded off pretty quickly. And what do we have here? 7 pawns. 7 pawns. White does have sort of a structural weakness over here, but nothing too serious. No reason why he should be losing. Opposite color bishops make this potentially drawish in the end if all the rooks come off. But if the rooks stay on, then it does give winning chances. So I would say Fire Phoenix being black should really play for the win here. Okay, so to be honest, this one is a little less exciting. So let's see what the other games are. We have Zion Simmons, Makai vs. Magic Kid. Let's see what's going on here. E4. Okay, so we have an Italian. Oh, the fried liver. Okay, no, you could have just taken here with check. The queen is not able to protect things against two minor pieces. So F7 really is hanging. It's not important to just count how many defenders, but it's also important to see who is defending that square. So even though black had two defenders of the square, one of them was a queen, and if the knight captured on f7, the queen could not capture it because black would lose his queen. So I would say the opening was a success for black. Black certainly is equalized by this point. Now, if he's more than equal, that's another question. Although I like how he's playing right now. Knight d4, the queen has to go back to d1 because otherwise knight takes c2 check. Would have won a pawn and the rook in the corner. Black castles long, and if white is brave enough to castle kingside, we do have a pawn storm coming his way. So I like the idea of not castling right away for white. It's better to develop pieces and to see where maybe he wants to put his king. Maybe he wants to put his king on this side. And I would probably agree with him if that's what he's intending to do. Trading, there's nothing wrong with that. Although you do have to watch out for this pin in the future. That might become a problem. I would go for c6 and d5. Opening the center now. Pawn d5. It's a good move too, although I would have preferred to make use of the pin. Another move would have been pawn f5 here to open other lines. But that seemed to be a little bit more consistent. So yeah, you played pawn d5, but it seems a little bit late here, and you're leaving yourself with two double pawns. So I'm not sure how successful this actually was for black. It seems like white's king got out of the way. He's perfectly safe. And white just has some good double pawns to work with for the rest of the game. In fact, this is a double attack. Queen is hitting this and hitting this, and actually I see no good way of defending both pawns. So it looks like white is going to go pawn up. I would take bishop takes... Sorry, I'm going kind of crazy. I thought that this pawn was undefended, but that was not a double attack, which means that f7 could have been defended with something like rook d7, and that would have been completely safe. However, now white is up a pawn, and let's see the technique. Rook e8 trading off is a threat. Okay, so black prevents that. Although this bishop looks so ugly on this square, all it's doing is just staring at its own pawn. There wasn't really a better square for the bishop though, so nothing to criticize over there. Rook e2 is a good, solid move. What white should be trying to do here is trade off pieces, but not too many pieces because of the opposite color bishops. If you trade all the heavy pieces, there will be not so many winning chances. But maybe if you just trade the queens but leave the rooks on, that offers enough winning chances. But not a super easy win by any stretch. I like the way white is playing. No, take the two rooks for the queen. Take the two rooks for the queen here. The two rooks will be much, much, much stronger with an open king over here. And really, you don't have another choice. If you retreat somehow, then you lose your rook on e2. So queen takes e8 is the only reasonable choice. If he does anything else, I think he goes down a rook. No, queen takes e5 here. And White's gonna lose this game. Really a shame because he was doing so well in the beginning. Uh, you should not be afraid to give your queen up if you're winning 2 rooks. Remember that a queen is 9 points and 2 rooks are actually 10. So that would have been, even in terms of points, that would have been a good choice um, for White, and White would have won that game. With that being said, it looks like this game is about to be over. We're going to find out who is the winner, but I didn't want to make this video an hour long. So that was about 30 minutes, which seemed like it's long enough. Just to give a little recap, Magic Kid is in the lead. SABX Roberto is in second place. Fire Phoenix is in third place. If you're interested in seeing how the tournament finished, you can definitely take a look at the end. But unfortunately, this video will conclude now. Is that his rating right now, 2244? Is that their performance rating, or I'm not sure what this number is. Anyway, good luck to all the players. I hope that we see some upsets. I hope we see some good chess, and we'll see you next time on our next chess video. Thanks for watching.